Hello, ladies and gentlemen, dude and dudettes. I am Matt Burns, and I am not alone, of course. I've also got my broadcast partner. He is my tag team partner. He's about to be tagged in for the hot tag. It's none other than JB.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, from a very hot part of the world. I'm sure it's hot where you are too. My God, I am practically melting. However, there's stuff to be talked about in the sphere of professional wrestling. So, we're here. Let's talk about it.
Right, and I'm going to have to, due to massive delays and that we've had and busyness, we are going to be going through a lot of stuff quite quickly. So,
There's going to be
for this week...
What do you call it? A patchwork quilt of an episode, just loads of little bits stuck together.
And with some randomness also included. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen...
I'm here, that's part of the course. Of course there's going to be randomness.
Of course. But anyway, let's just get on with the show. Let's get to our audio disclaimer. Would you kindly please?
The following broadcast may contain descriptions of storylines and language used in said descriptions that may be unsuitable for those of a sensitive disposition and may also be unsuitable for younger listeners. This broadcast may also contain strobe lighting effects.
And with additional, there may be the slight swear word or adult language that may be unsuitable as well for people who do not like that sort of language, or for younger listeners as well. Yep. So, audio discretion is
advised.
Right. With also that, we're also going to be stating that our statement is still going strong and forever true in the fact that we do still support Black Lives Matter and hashtag speaking out.
We are much like Lewis Hamilton in the Formula One world in this. It's not just a case of, we've said it once, we don't have to bother anymore. It's an ongoing thing, and we are still ongoing with our support of it.
Damn right. And on top of that, in case if anybody wants to double check that we're not, you just pre-recorded this bit and just hitting the play button. Check each week. You can tell.
Each week. It's not because we're saying different things. P.S. I didn't say you're talking out of your arse last week, did I?
No, you didn't.
But that is what I think to anyone who says that we pre-record this bit.
But anyway, the statements that we still previously mentioned in the fact that anyone who's been affected by Black Lives Matter and hashtag speaking out directly, we're not meaning anyone who's been affected by the aftershock or the aftermath, but if they want to voice an opinion in regards to how they've been affected by the nature of it, our microphone and our airtime,
a bit of airtime to voice an opinion, yes, but not to sling accusations. We just want to make that perfectly clear. If you've got them and you think there's any basis to them, be it because they're true or not, then that's not for us to say. But the point is, take it to the relevant authorities, because, mudslinging on air will, A, get us in trouble with the lawyers, and B, potentially you as well, and C, oh, hang on, I don't think I said B. B, doesn't look very professional, and C, did I mention lawyers are expensive and we can't really afford to hire them?
Yes, too true.
So, no accusations, just, if you want to, speak out in a non-litigious way.
Correct. Anyway, what I am going to state is we've got a lot to cover, because some of the topics that we are going to cover is the whole Pat McAfee and Adam Cole
non-event, which didn't just talk about the old Vince McMahon philosophy that any publicity is good publicity, even when it's a complete non-event. Yeah, okay.
And they've goofed up when the original viewing of it has been quickly edited.
Oh, has it? Oh, why am I not surprised?
And do you know what's even worse?
What?
This is how jarring it was. It was on YouTube the day after it happened, and there was a version of it. And then when I went on to it the following day, and a certain segment was completely missing out.
Many people will have copies of the original. You can't remove it once it's been on the internet. WWE, come on. You know this.
And there is also, of course, the fact of it being on NXT, which if they've edited out of that, oh dear.
Yeah. Oh, not to mention, I do believe there may be such a thing, strike me dead if I'm wrong here, such a, controversial idea, but an archive online of past episodes of the Pat McAfee show, which won't have been edited.
Oh, no. We're not on about the Pat McAfee show.
Oh.
We're on about what happened on NXT.
Oh, right. That's been edited, has it? Which particular bit?
After the moment happened.
Hang on. The moment on the Pat McAfee show where Adam
No. We'll get to that. I'll clue you up onto that one. Unfortunately, I will be stating there will be NXT spoilers.
Yeah, I need you to fill me in because I'm not 100% sure what bit you're referring to. Does it refer to this week's NXT?
Yes.
Which, due to the nature of it now being a live broadcast television show in America, is on a 1-week delay on the UK WWE network, and which I haven't seen yet because I don't have BT Sport.
Oh dear. Well, let's just say that brace yourselves.
Oh dear.
Brace yourselves.
That is a phrase that strikes fear into the heart of any decent and sensible fan of wrestling, really, because it just means that that, well, someone's done something.
I believe you've also
silly.
got a statement of yourself in regards to something that's being pitched on NXT that you're not quite sold on.
Oh, absolutely. Do you want to do that now, or would you?
No, not yet.
Yeah, I have. It's a current NXT. Shall we say a slice of the pie, a piece of the current product, which is jarring with me somewhat. But
Yes,
more about that later on.
Yeah, and of course, at some point, I want to be able to, on this week's episode, discuss some bad storyline angles.
As if a week ever goes by when we don't see one of them in some wrestling promotion somewhere in the world. But I'm guessing you're talking about a WWE one on this particular occasion.
No.
Oh, well, that's a pleasant surprise.
Go on then. It's not.
Which promotion is it? Just to drop a little teaser.
Impact.
The artist formerly known as TNA Wrestling.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah, okay. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about my gripe with NXT, which is a small one, but it's also fairly major. But both of them, I think, are not next.
No. Anyway, I am going to have to bring up one little bit, but we're not going to go too much into details of the nature of it. All I'm just going to say is, you know what? No, I'm not going to bring it up because I feel as though there's an investigation ongoing with it. In case you were on about who you won't know who we're on about, we are on about Marty Jannetty. There is an investigation currently ongoing with local authorities and other authorities dipping into his life at the moment in time and doing searches towards Marty Jannetty. As for in regards to the nature of it, all I'm just going to state is, please look it up, but be warned, the nature of the subject could be not very pleasant. But
yeah,
I'm thinking, I did consider mentioning it this week, but I thought to myself, I quickly changed my mind and thought we'd mention it, but not mention what's gone on because we don't want to be getting any incorrect information. All we're saying is there is an investigation potentially ongoing in regards to it. Hopefully nothing comes out of it. However, if something does, more than likely it could be getting mentioned. The only reason why it's been brought up is because there has been a mention of it from the gentleman in question, stating in regards to the subject themselves.
Yeah, we're basically just saying, we're aware of it. It's on our radar, but it's not something we feel that we can actually go anywhere near for, reasons until a little bit more is known.
Correct. Well, anyway, Let's get to NXT, shall we?
I've still yet to come. I've tried to come up with an alter ego for what those letters might stand for. That
For
isn't
NXT.
NXT, just a comedy way of referring to it as like, well, you know what the unfortunate other alternative of TNA was that they tried to move away from when they rebranded Impact Wrestling.
No idea what you're on about.
Yes, you do. You're just playing coy. But anyway, I've tried to come up with a stupid alternate acronym for what TNA might stand for, and let's just gloss over it because I have spectacularly failed. Did I say TNA again there? I meant NXT.
Yeah, but anyway.
Current NXT product, spectacular. Pushing of new talent and blending them in with the main roster mainstays, very good. All except for one.
However, there could be a possible issue with what they might be doing with some NXT talent that they might bring up to the main roster in a bad way if it is them.
Yeah. It's that is one of the things that we've got a gripe about, and I also have a gripe about someone who isn't being brought up to the main roster, who's in fact a new member of the NXT roster who's only just being pushed on that brand, and I...
You're not sold?
NXT are selling it, I ain't buying.
Would you kindly mention yours first, because I know if I get on to my two subjects, at least if you go onto the soapbox first, it'll be preheated. When I get on to it, it'll be steaming hot.
Yeah, okay, well, when you do, just wear your foot oven gloves, because it might be red hot and you might burn the soles of your feet.
Oh, believe me, for what flame I've got, all I'm just going to say is, not even a Molotov cocktail is going to be hot enough to burn me.
That's fair enough, but my point is it might be warm before you even get there, so you're going to make
Oh, no, what makes it even worse, what makes it even worse is I've just even hinted at one of the subjects I'm referring to as well.
Oh, right, I see what you did.
Let's get on with it.
Forward tinting, I like it, yeah. Essentially, my gripe comes down to the latest person that WWE, rather NXT, are pushing as the next big thing. And I'm not interested.
Why?
You can have all the creepy entrance music, all the build-up, all the pretense of, it's the next coming of The Undertaker, or whatever bullshit that they actually want to try and foist upon us for this. But when the person in question doesn't stand up to the hype, it's just like, yeah, do you know what? No. Suspension of disbelief, fail. I cannot get behind this. Get him off my TV screens. And, ladies and gentlemen at home, I am not talking about Denzel DeJournette. That guy might be a future star in the Cruiserweight division when they start giving him matches that he might actually be able to win. He has, however, I believe, been in a match against the focus of my ire this week. And, well, what can I say? When said person, who, if you haven't worked it out yet, I'll reveal who it is in a minute, was in a match with someone like Denzel DeJournette, half his size, who he
didn't have a match.
Like a child. Was it a non...
No, he didn't have a match.
Oh, okay. The point is, when he's in the ring with someone half his size and he can basically act like, the Big Show with Rey Mysterio and just throw them around like they weigh nothing, he looks mildly convincing.
And with less weighting? Oh, wait, he does that.
Yeah, he looks mildly convincing, except for the fact that what he basically looks like is a normal bloke who can't quite believe how easy everything is. He looks about as menacing as a tax inspector, and to be honest, I'm about as... I think you're supposed... What are the words? Let's give everyone a clue here. The words in his entrance music... Fallen prey. I've already modified that. Every time I hear it, I start saying to myself, fall asleep. Because it's what I have to fight doing. Every time he comes up my screen.
No. I'm surprised you didn't go for the easy one. You do fall and pray. You pray for this to be over.
Yeah, because I'm also trying not to fall asleep. Because he's, like I said...
That's what you're saying.
He's about as menacing as a tax inspector. He looks like, well... frankly, did you see, I believe, what is now 2 weeks ago's NXT, when they put him in the ring with Dominik Dijakovic, a guy who is actually bigger than he is? Yeah. When he can't throw someone around like a child, all of a sudden, every weakness is exposed. He's actually nothing. He's as green as grass and twice as unpleasant to watch. And makes you throw up if you eat it as well. Sorry, no.
I think what made it worse, and this is where it stung him a little bit, they put him in with the big guy, and the commentators, when Dominik Dijakovic knocked him down, oh my God, he knocked him down!
Yeah, when they're stood opposite each other in the ring, Dijakovic is the bigger guy. It should be absolutely no surprise that they are on a level playing field, and shock horror, both men can knock each other down just as easily. Dijakovic is marginally taller. He's actually built a bit, I think, a bit more muscular. And so, just in case anyone at home hasn't tagged yet, we're talking about
TikTok.
Karrion Kross.
I thought I'd just add in the added TikTok for you.
Yeah.
And we're not on about the social. We're not on about social media.
That's a social media platform for 12-year-olds. It's got nothing to do with a boring wrestler.
Although I supposedly heard it's meant to be getting banned in America.
Allegedly, but let's not mention that right now.
We'll
My point is, everything that WWE are trying to do, they're trying to, the end of days, or whatever the phrase is, the end is near, fallen. No, I'm sorry. What he needs to do is put his shirt back on, get back behind the desk, and start calculating my tax returns.
Ouch.
Because he's about as intimidating as IRS's weedier cousin.
And yet,
doesn't have what it takes to be what they're portraying him as, and unfortunately, he doesn't have the charisma to cover off the cracks either.
Right.
If they were going for the second coming of The Undertaker, what they've essentially got is a slightly less stupidly dressed Mordecai.
Basically, what you're saying is, could we see another Mark Merrow and Sable situation happening in the future?
Essentially, no. No, I'm not even saying that, because walking to the ring, sticking your arse out, and pulling provocative faces aren't the hallmarks of a great whatever she's supposed to be. And that is all she strikes me as being able to do so far.
And yet she can wrestle.
And yet there's a reason why they haven't let her yet. I'm fairly sure.
I've seen her wrestle.
No, well, like I say, I haven't. So there's obviously a reason why she isn't being allowed to yet. But put it this way, there is a fairly high bar set for that. Female managers that come in and then get physically involved, and then oh, she has actually been trained. Oh, she can actually wrestle. Oh, and guess what? She's actually quite good at it as well. And sorry, Miss, what's your name? Purple? No, Mauve? No,
Scarlet.
That's the bugger. You're not fit to lace a certain person whose name has completely bloody escaped me because I was just about to say it on air.
Trish Stratus?
No. More recent.
Although she...
Andrade's business associate. What's her name?
Selena Vega.
You're not fit to lace Selena Vega's boots. In terms of being a manager.
You've got your claws out today.
In terms of being a manager. I can't speak for what you're like as a wrestler because I've not seen it. But, yeah, it's just everything about that package. I haven't been as disappointed since they revealed what Chris Hero's NXT name was going to be.
Cassius, oh no!
Cassius, oh no. Turn it over. I don't want to see this.
Oh no.
So, yeah.
I will say, I am surprised with the owner if WWE had their proper marketing idea. Have someone go, oh no, someone, in a certain fruit punch drink come person out, they're all going, oh yeah.
To be honest, that would have given him more cred than the way it actually came about.
And probably would have gotten sued by Family Guy.
More than likely. But anyway, the point is, since I heard that Chris Hero was being rebranded Cassius, oh fuck no, that is the last time I was as disappointed as I have been from top to bottom with the entirety of Karrion Kross and his little act.
Hideo, the name of Kenta to Hideo Itami.
Sorry?
Kenta being changed to Hideo Itami.
Might not have been the same name that he used in Japan, but at least before he got that really horrible injury, and at which point they wrapped him in cotton wool and said, "Don't do anything that'll hurt yourself." When they let him be himself, he was actually perfectly all right, and I could get behind a slightly silly name.
Okay.
But no, Karrion Kross, not buying it. Sorry. Next. I think, in the spirit of earlier, when I was talking about the Mexicals, I don't know if that was when we came on air or if I said that before we were on air.
That was, I think, before.
Anyway, I referred to a certain thing that we might be talking about in a minute as that, and
we will be leading into it eventually, but we've got to cover one of the major stories that NXT is being pushed for.
Yeah. Okay, if Karrion Kross is not Mordecai 2020, however, then he is probably something.
Personally, I disagree with you in the fact of when the vignettes are done right, Karrion Kross has looked the part, even though they're not allowing him to use his original name, which is Killer Kross.
Yeah.
Is now Karrion. But anyway, the point being is he can look menacing under the right light, under the right camera angles.
Yeah, but it's far too stage managed. It requires far too much effort, and it just doesn't flow naturally, which means, as we all know with wrestling,
what makes it worse with this week? What made it worse this week is he wasn't even wrestling this week for Karrion. I believe the champ was on, Mr. Bask in His Glory.
Oh, bask in his glory, for he is limitless.
Yes. I believe he was facing Cameron Grimes in a non-title match. You can guess how that went.
There's someone else who I am not a fan of, but the thing with Cameron Grimes is...
No, I'm sorry.
I'm not a fan of him because I'm not supposed to be. I hate him for all the reasons I'm supposed to hate him. He's doing his job very well.
Right.
Whereas with Karrion Kross, I just cannot suspend my disbelief, and as a result, I just don't care.
Now, what made me laugh is a lot of people turned around and said for Karrion, right, okay, Keith Lee destroyed Cameron Grimes. Predictable. Although I think Cameron Grimes should start getting some momentum soon. Stop being a punch bag.
It will be nice.
Anyway, moving on. Karrion Kross then come on the vignette saying, "You're the man to talk about round here, because I've never seen the general manager, William Regal, around. So you're the man to talk about the title match. Give me what I want." And I'm like,
Seriously?
Wait.
You've never walked past the big door with the big gold NXT sign on it with general manager stuck underneath in cheap tape?
Even though William Regal is actually in the UK right now because of the plan, due to a certain reason.
Yeah.
Big reason. Anyway, not finished yet. Not finished yet.
Come for the plug, Mark Adams.
Yeah, you're welcome. And let's just take this. What made it even more painful is, as you did it, it's like, because you haven't done it yet, this is all on your fault. And then comes back, looks like in a gym area where Danny Burch has been attacked. Viciously by Cross. It's assumed out, but it's in black and white, so it's like, there might be a few extra bodies in there, but the way they shot it just looked like one person was there. So it looked like an empty gym.
Sorry.
So in a way, they're practicing social distancing. Yay! But it looks crap for Karrion Kross because he hadn't killed multiple people. He only killed one.
And you know the worst part as well?
Yeah.
Due to everything I know about both characters,
yeah,
I don't care he's half his size. Danny Burch would kill Karrion Kross in any kind of ambush situation.
And
he would legitimately tear him a new arsehole because Danny Burch is legitimately everything that Karrion Kross is trying and failing to be, which is a legitimately hard bastard.
Yeah, and it makes it even worse. He's saying that Keith Lee's being a coward, and yet
he's attacking people from behind.
Wait, in the previous week, he's attacking people from behind. In the previous week, you've got Keith Lee declaring, "Get your ass out here! I want to beat you to death."
I'm right here, right now. I'm in the middle of the ring. Now, come out.
And Regal is saying, "You don't make the matches, I do." So where does Karrion Kross, in his own mind, go that Keith Lee's in charge?
A, Keith Lee's in charge. No, he isn't. B, he hasn't seen William Regal. Where are your eyes? Because he was on the screen saying he's in charge. And C, apparently Keith Lee's not, he's ducking him, which is, it's just everything about it.
So basically, you just beat on Danny Burch because you're saying Keith Lee's a coward, even though Keith Lee said, "Get your ass to the ring and fight me."
So instead, you choose to attack Danny Burch from behind, which...
What makes it worse is, he's meant to be a menacing killer, and all that's just done is... he's just gone from absolute killer to now looking like a scared killer who won't even take on his victim. Well, his
looking like victim. A scared office clerk, basically. Just nothing about his character gels for me. It's just tacked together.
So that's my one gripe with Karrion Kross.
What?
That's the one gripe with this week, of how the promo just didn't seem to suit well.
Well, that's just on the cake for me. But anyway.
Now, let's get to the 2 golden nuggets I'm going to have to rant about.
Right, please be warned, I can barely look at the soapbox because it is so hot, it is glowing molten white. So be careful when you stand on it.
Right, let's get on to an update for Pat McAfee and Adam Cole. Yay! I understand that WWE are giving Adam Cole a shot here, but is this the best way to turn Undisputed fucking face?
No.
Right? Do you know what makes it even worse? That 2 of them, right, former Red Dragon, right, are in a match against Imperium for the tag team belts.
Oh, by the way, a faction that they're trying to turn face a week after they absolutely annihilated in a 4-on-2 assault said tag team champions in the most heelish manner possible, whilst shouting at the various trainees in the crowd, "We still run this place." Yeah. Top-notch face work there, you
right. Now, I believe that Undisputed could become faces if the other members of Imperium were there.
And it was a genuine 4-on-4 fight.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, they're never going to be. Because Walter has no appetite and no desire to appear on American NXT.
At this moment in time, especially.
At this moment in time. And that's the thing. Even if there wasn't a global pandemic that meant he had to stay in Europe anyway, he wouldn't want to. Or rather, he would want to stay in Europe. He would have no desire to keep flying to America. He said when he signed his contract he had no interest in it. That's not what he was doing it for. So, essentially, if they were going to do this angle, Undisputed Era and Imperium would have to have their entire feud on NXT UK.
Yes.
Can't see that happening.
I could, if there was no pandemic. But anyway, we digress.
Yes.
We digress. Because, do it make it even worse?
Go on.
What supposedly might have turned Undisputed Era? And it's not even Imperium?
Let me guess. Another face.
Pat McAfee?
Did what?
Yeah. Pat McAfee might have turned Adam Cole face. Cole
ranting and swearing on a radio broadcast like a man who is quite rightly annoyed with a line of juvenile questioning.
Yeah.
is the action of a Stone Cold babyface, is it? Because
oh no, they
does not
actually
compute.
switched it. No, they actually switched it on NXT.
Hey,
They switched it on NXT.
no.
Right, because guess who was invited to NXT?
Does it rhyme with Twat McFaffy?
Yes.
If this is the beginning of said person having a run as a heel manager against a faction that are opposing Undisputed Era, then I'm official. Then 10 years of NXT viewing and out. I'm done. Goodbye.
Are you ready for this?
You mean it's worse than that? Oh, Jesus. No, but go on anyway.
Brace yourself. Right. Basically, they brought in Pat McAfee, who turned around, they buried the hatchet, even had images on social media. Yeah, we're best buds now. We buried the hatchet. Yeah. He then came on, did the commentary for the women's match.
Who did? Pat
McAfee, and then on to the main event. Now, during the main event, you've got... I'm trying to remember who's on commentary team for NXT this week.
Well, the normal commentary team of Tom Phillips, Mauro Ranallo, and Beth Phoenix.
Right. Mauro Ranallo, I don't think was possibly there. I don't know.
Well,
Tom Phillips was there with Pat McAfee. However, Beth Phoenix could be heard but not seen.
Because since day one, WWE have been trying to gloss over the fact that Tom Phillips is in the arena every week and Mauro Ranallo and Beth Phoenix are both phoning in via, I don't know, Zoom, Skype, some form of, they're not actually in the building, but you can still hear them type deal. Yes.
And what makes it even worse is during the tag match that was happening, and you've got Roderick Strong and Adam Cole outside the ring. Pat McAfee is firing shots at Adam Cole about his height, saying he's small, he's not the biggest lad, he might come up short, jokes, at which point he then got Beth Phoenix, who said, how dare you do that, come onto our show and disrespect us. And he goes, well, I'm not even doing it, I'm just saying an opinion, I'm just joking and joshing with him. And you then got, Beth Phoenix doing a walkout on the commentary team. Now, if she was there, that would have looked great. Because she isn't, they just did it from audio, so it just went from, right, see you later, to radio silence with her.
Oh, dear. Yeah, that's terrible.
Right.
And not least because...
Yeah, so then near the end of the match... Adam Cole has enough of Pat and walks over and goes, you do know I'm only just about, 5 or 10 feet away from you. I can hear you.
Oh, what, in an empty arena? Yeah, no shit.
Right. I can hear you. You are quite loud, big mouth. I'm just joking. I'm just joshing. I'm just laughing. It's like, yeah, I've asked you one thing. Now, I've asked you to drop it. Now drop it. For then him turn around and say, oh, calm down, you little elf.
What? Do you ask yourself, because this is the question I'm asking myself, and
yeah,
I've yet to come up with an even remotely close to satisfactory answer.
Yeah.
Longest reigning champion in NXT history. Face of the brand for over a year.
Wait.
What does WWE hope to gain by completely belittling the ever-loving shit out of him?
Oh, no.
And worse than that, having it done by someone who is famous for what exactly?
American football is a punter. We'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to that in a minute. Because then Adam Cole loses his shit.
Quite rightly.
Flips, stand up, do something about it, throws water on him, do something about it. And this is how serious it looks. Multiple referees that aren't involved in the match. While this is happening while the match is ongoing. Roderick Strong is trying to pull Adam Cole away from the situation. You've got multiple referees surrounding Adam Cole, Triple H and Shawn Michaels make an appearance.
At which point, essentially, what was it?
Pat McAfee has got about 2 referees, saying.
At which point, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish and Imperium in the ring could be given a tutorial on how to grow top quality weed, for all the fact that anyone's paying any attention to them in the NXT Tag Team Championship match that was supposed to be going on.
However, they actually do stop it for brief bits now and again. And that's what ends up costing the match. Because you got Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly looking over going, what the hell's going on? And Imperium cash in on it.
Yes. Well, that's no surprise, but...
Quickly and get out of there. Right? It's all about to explode. And the idea being is, Triple H just says, listen, Pat, just go. You shouldn't be disrespecting him. And as he walks off, right? He walks off, right? Puts his arms up and all of a sudden he seems to stop. And then he turns around, walks straight over to the announce team, and literally turns around and goes, you know what your problem is? You're just going to be a little whiny, little short-ass, little bitch. And Adam Cole just erupts, jumps onto the commentator table. He's trying to crawl to grab at him. He's about to smack him. And while he's just dangling over the commentator's table, Pat McAfee, while Adam Cole is being restrained by about 8 guys, and he's got 2 guys who's not hardly touching him, he decides to punch Adam Cole on the head.
I knew that was coming. It didn't make it any less reprehensible or any more something I actually want to see, but I knew what was coming straight away.
And you ready for this?
What?
2 things popped in my head right now. 1, you can see where the mat was for Cole to land on, so you might have saw it coming. And 2, isn't that gimmick infringement?
Do you know what?
Hello, Randy Orton.
Adam Cole is going to get sidelined in all of this, and Pat McAfee's going to end up having a match with Randy Orton at WrestleMania for rights to use the punt.
Yeah. Right.
Hashtag Japanese shampoo commercial. Jesus.
Are you ready for this?
Yes.
At that point, this is where it gets cut. The edit gets cut. Now on the cut version, you see Pat McAfee walking off and being escorted out. On the original version, someone shoves him and says, "Get your ass out of here now."
Someone? Do you mean Triple H?
Yes. Now,
has Triple H's ability to act grown during his time away from the ring?
I'll be honest with you.
He sound like he's just saying that because he needs it to be important that this gets over.
I'll be honest with you. They've cut that bit out, and I'm like, what the that makes it look more legit. That made it look more legit.
Yeah, it's worrying, isn't it? I mean, I knew it had to happen at some point, but...
Not finished. Not finished. For the next takeover.
Takeover 30.
Yep.
1 week from Sunday.
Yep. Pat McAfee is in a match.
Sorry, that was my head hitting the desk in disbelief.
Against Adam Cole.
Are we talking the kind of match...
1-on-1.
Like, with the stipulations as stacked as they were for Dolph Ziggler against Drew McIntyre, so that there's an excuse why McAfee can win?
Nope.
See, this is what happens when Vince McMahon starts dipping his fingers in the pie and starts trying to run NXT. Stop it. Make it stop. Point him in the direction of the shiny red and blue baubles and leave the yellow and black one alone.
I'm going to mention... I'm going to have to, instead... I had 2 additional topics for the main roster, but I may have to save it for next week because I'll be ranting all day.
Yeah, but no, this
Because
whole
you just heard one of the major rants.
Yeah.
I'm saving the other 2 rants for the following week.
Well, that's good because frankly,
one
I've
of them
just received a long-range warning for that soapbox. Apparently, if you're not careful, the whole of the West Midlands is going to go nuclear. You need to step away and save your other rants for next week.
Take into account, we've got to cover the whole mess of what Raw Underground that Shane McMahon's involved with.
Yes, that needs more time than we can give it this week, so we're going to have to worry about that next week.
Because one minute even worse says 9 out of 10 times whenever Raw Underground came on, oh, look at the sexy ladies, look at the sexy ladies. Yes, we know there's ladies there, but are you trying to bring, are you using Raw Underground to try and bring the Attitude Era back? And also imply that there's an alternative to, I'll give Shane his due with the Raw Underground, it is different. A ring with no ropes and make it more MMA. But to then have on the first night the Hurt Business come in and take the fuck over.
So this is something I know nothing about. I'm gonna have to do some research on this, and we're gonna have to talk about it in depth next week.
That's why I'm saying that's going to be a rant for next week.
Awesome.
Then we've also got to discuss about the whole retribution thing. Oh.
Retribution?
Yeah, because on Raw, they had lights flickering. Oh, it must be the weather. Oh, no, it isn't. It's a group of guys in hoods throwing a Molotov cocktail at some form of power line that didn't look like an actual fucking power line.
Oh, dear me.
And then at the end of SmackDown, had them come out, oh, look, they're here, they're taking over. Basically looking like they're trying to recreate the whole Nexus thing, and it looked shite.
Yeah, so.
And to get someone cutting the ropes off with a chainsaw. Now, really? I don't know if them ropes were meant to break or anything, or as such, or if that was cinematic. But the fucking chainsaw looks like a fucking toy.
So yeah,
on a small little wheel, and what makes it even worse, it's potentially NXT stars under the mask.
Oh, wow. So what you're basically saying is it's about as convincing as the idea that I'm supposed to be scared of Karrion Kross.
Oh, it's much worse.
It's about as so convincing bad. As the idea that I'm supposed to be scared by the prospect of being beaten down by Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wilde if I annoy that Lucha midget.
One of them is one of them.
Sorry?
I think one of them is under the mask. That's what makes it even worse.
Yeah, have you finished with your masks on NXT now? Yep, you've taken them off. Right, put them back on. We've got another job for you.
Yeah, exactly my point. And then what makes it even worse is the angle looks so poor and bad. I want the Nexus back to show that it was how it's done. I actually wanted the core to come back to show him how it's done. Oh wait, I actually wanted Impact Wrestling to bring back frickin' 80s and 8s to show him how it's done. Oh wait, they almost considered it with D'Lo Brown supposedly having his 8s and 8s jackets on show and them taking it saying let's get the band back together, but then didn't actually make out anything of it.
Do you know who need to come out and chase them off?
What?
Do you need to come out and chase them off? This new faction.
Hulk Hogan?
No. Super Crazy and Friends Ride on Lawnmowers.
I actually think that'd be better.
Mexicools 2020, chasing away the bad guys. Yeah.
I'd be fine with that.
Because it'd be more believable than that load of bullshit. I'm not entirely surprised.
No. It's take into account on SmackDown we've got Alexa Bliss being kidnapped by Bray Wyatt and choked using the Mandible Claw to bring out Braun Strowman, which what makes it worse is the first week she's getting choked, he doesn't come out straight away, and the second week when he goes to do it, you got her saying, no, I don't want it this week, and then Braun Strowman makes an appearance saying, I am the monster that's coming back. So basically Bray Wyatt was successful in what he wanted to do, bring out the monster. Huh?
Yeah, it seems to me that there's a hell of a lot of badly thought out, rushed crap happening. And annoyingly, it's not just happening on the regular brands, it's infecting NXT as well.
Big E, please just come back and claim a championship, something, or please, for God's sake, Keith Lee come up onto the main brand and just take the main belt from somebody on SmackDown. I've just lost the will. I've lost the believability of Braun Strowman. I've lost the ability. I'm losing the will to live. And there's even a rumor that they could be even doing an angle where Bray Wyatt marries Alexa Bliss. Which we all know how weddings go in wrestling. Anyway, speaking of terrible gimmick, storylines or future storylines, I want to bring up a past storyline that I recently came into light.
Hang on, are you doing this quick now, or are we let's save this for next week?
Oh no, I need to do this quick. I need to get this off my chest because this is something, as soon as I saw it, I had to immediately get it. It had me raging.
What, is it an attempt to recreate an old storyline? Is it an old storyline that you've seen?
No, it's a fresh storyline that ended up devaluing AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, Kazarian, and they weren't even the worst ones off in the entire damn thing.
Okay, so bearing in mind you've mentioned a couple of those names, it could have been WWE, but since you mentioned Kazarian and Christopher Daniels, I'm assuming this is not a WWE storyline.
Nope.
This is a tits and ass story. Sorry, TNA. Impact Wrestling.
Yes.
Storyline.
Did you ever see the angle where Christopher Daniels convinced Kazarian to ditch AJ to break up Fortune and join him as bad reputation? What was it? Bad influence or something like that?
I have heard about it, but I
basically the former SCU name.
Yeah.
On Impact. But anyway, the point, minus Scorpio Sky. Well, anyway, the idea being, the reason why they were doing it is they were making a claim that AJ Styles was sleeping with Dixie Carter.
Oh, good Lord. Is this going to be sort of sub the level of tripe that Raw made Samoa Joe do with the whole AJ and his family thing?
Even worse.
Wow, because that was scraping the barrel. How can it possibly be worse than that?
This is almost the equivalent to WWE's version of Katie Vick levels.
And you get mad every time I mention Booker T's Room of Candles. You have no idea how mad I get every time somebody reminds me that angle exists.
Wait. Have you noticed anything? Yeah. I didn't tell you off for the Room of Candles.
No, actually, I did notice that. Are you feeling all right?
That's how bad it is.
Wow. I've managed to shoehorn Booker T's Room of Candles and Japanese shampoo commercial in this week's show.
Yes.
And you're still not angry. Wow, this must be the most dreadful attempt at awfulness since somebody whose name rhymes with Vince Puso decided that Sports Entertainment Extreme was a faction and that apparently it spelled sex and not, as everyone who can spell believes it would spell, C.
What makes it even worse is it almost felt like he was writing it, but he wasn't.
What?
It's a Vince Russo. It's almost a Vince Russo-like angle that Vince Russo would love, but it wasn't Vince Russo.
It wasn't? Ugh.
No.
Right, come on.
Account, this is during the time when Aces and Eights were actually around.
Yeah.
And we've then got Kazarian accusing AJ Styles, Kazarian and Daniels accusing AJ Styles of sleeping with Dixie Carter. And what made even worse is the fact that they had, social media footage saying, how, and it does look bad on and everything in regards to it. Then all of a sudden they then find out there's revealed on where they were actually going to, which was to basically help a lady who was pregnant who was potentially a crack addict by the name of Claire Lynch.
Storyline, though, yes.
Right, which is by the name of Claire Lynch.
Yeah.
which was
Becky's sister.
No.
Oh shit! No.
Just no. No. Just no.
Yeah. Anyway, the whole point is you're explaining the whole AJ TNA angle, which isn't as bad as this one that you've seen recently. So right, I'm sat down. I've braced myself. I can't be any more prepared.
So then you've got Christopher Daniels and Kazarian going, oh my God, that's why they've actually been looking like they've been sleeping together and going to a certain hotel room to help her. To then reveal that she's actually part of Daniels and Kazarian's plan by saying that she's pregnant with AJ's baby.
Yeah, this is all terrible. But is this the storyline that you're mad about, or is this just context? I'm lost now.
This is just the context. If you actually saw it, you would be livid. Right? To make it even worse, you've then got her doing a segment going, you know. And what it worse is, she's going through it, and Daniels and saying, oh, he's going to be the father, produces a toy baby doll line with AJ Styles on it, and she's holding it, cradling, saying, do the right thing, AJ! Do the right thing!
Yeah, okay, yeah. We're all horribly aware of how
this is how
it is.
bad it got. The acting, and I felt sorry with the person who's playing Claire Lynch, because the people who were the bad end of the wrestling fans found out in regards to it that outside of wrestling, she is a lady who does plenty of adverts where she's doing endorsements, and turned around and decided to absolutely butcher her career in that, saying her acting is so false and poor.
Yeah, sorry.
It's not believable.
I remember this. I would honestly rather you weren't dredging it all up for me. But what's this poor woman's career getting murdered by a really bad TNA angle got to do with the current awful angle that you are leading towards? Please do fill me in, because I'm.
I know the wrestling fans were that upset and wanted her gone. They decided to butcher her career. So she, in turn, decided to state, nope, I'm not continuing anymore with the storyline. Dropped out of the storyline to immediately try to save her actual personal career outside. And what makes it even worse is supposedly, and this is from Daniel's shoot interview, stating that when they hired her, they didn't even tell her that she was going to be a pregnant crack addict being saved by AJ Styles and Dixie Carter and then manipulated by Daniels and Kazarian. Which is a whole mouthful. There.
Yeah, just.
And then how did they get out of this? Make it worse. Oh, she's gone. AJ walks up to them. I'll tell you what. Let's have a match. If you win, I take responsibility of the child. If I win, we get a pregnancy test to see if I am the father, and basically go from there.
Sounds long-winded.
So you haven't even taken a pregnancy test. You haven't even actually had a pregnancy test done from the get-go, from when the angle started 3 months ago.
Oh no, that would be easy and stuff.
Which would have resolved the entire issue.
Yeah.
AJ wins to then have a lawyer come down to state, I am the lawyer of Claire Lynch, who has stated that she's had enough of Kazarian and Daniels, and we are going to state that they manipulate the situation to try and blackmail AJ Styles to re-endorse and then basically free up AJ Styles and just put an end to the story.
Right, all of this massive build-up. What exactly have they done that could possibly top this?
That was it. That's how it ended.
No, I mean, isn't there a current storyline that all this build-up is leading to? I'm slightly confused.
No, it just died. The storyline just died.
Yes. Oh, okay. No, I'm thoroughly lost now.
Exactly. That's how the wrestling fans felt when they were watching it.
Yes, but why have you mentioned it as context? Where is this leading towards?
Basically, I'm considering at least once per week us bringing up a storyline that was either good or absolutely terrible.
Okay. I can see why that would work. So this is your pitch for the you're setting the bar deliberately low for the terrible ones.
Yes.
Well, what are you saying? Are you basically throwing is this? Hang on. Was that clang you dropping the gauntlet of go on, find something worse than that? I dare you.
Oh no, I'm not saying find something worse. I'm actually encouraging it because I've got other bad storylines.
Oh, trust me, I'm sure I can come up with plenty.
WCW, yeah. And I'll just mention Shane Douglas.
Yeah.
We know that one. Then you've got the Kennel from Hell.
Kennel, yeah. I will just mention 3 simple words at this. Okay, technically 4 because I need the one at the start. Hashtag Think Poke of Doom.
Ooh.
Yeah. Basically, what you want is us to sort of do The Burning Truth Does Wrestle crap and just come up with some absolute garbage. And alternatively, some really good stuff, I would imagine, to try and counterbalance it.
Correct.
So, however, okay, with that in mind, everyone who's listening, you know the channels by now. Burning Truth has loads of social media. Is there anything you'd like us to cover that is a particular favourite/nightmare of yours that either you think is really obscure and we might forget, or that you think is terrible enough that we need to cover it? Give us a helping hand. Get in touch.
Next week, I'm going to be covering a storyline that involved a let's say promo that was so bad it's legendary, as in it's bad for the storyline, as in the storyline of what happened, but absolutely hilarious and it will guarantee produce some laughs.
But not for the right reasons.
Oh no, not for the right reasons, but you'll have a chuckle. All I'll say is, Kevin Nash! And just leave it there.
Yes.
Leave it there. But anyway, that's going to be it for our topics for this week. I'm just going to state on for the plug right now is check out UKWA, check out Tony Knox, Jessica Silver Photography, Kerry Swift Photography, BA Productions, SW Video, Change for Health and Wellbeing, Change Recovery Radio, Mind, Mess for Mind, Donna Louise Hospice Care for Children and Young People, Cancer Research UK. We of course also recommend you check out The Light Side of Wrestling, Botchamania, You're Welcome Matthew, Wrestle Crap.
Nice one, RD.
And of course the OSW Review Lads. We of course also recommend you check out Pull or Pass Radio Show, hosted by Magic Mark Adams. And in case you didn't hear the additional plug on the episode, don't say the C word.
Yeah.
Also hosted by him. We of course recommend you check out We the Independent, which is with an IE and not a Y. And of course Think Wrestling, Talking Wrestling Interview Section, definitely, which is hosted by none other than
the man who is not the Fourth Doctor, but who is called Tom Baker.
Correct. Of course, we also recommend you check out Train Pop Culture and Hatred Theory. We, of course, also highly recommend you check out Kayfabe Music, as they do absolutely amazing music. You want to know how good it is? It's our theme music. Our theme music is made by them. And for the next bit, I'm just going to mention Turnbuckle TV.
Yeah.
$3.99.
Just $3.99 for over
£1 a week.
4 million wrestling promotions, lots of non-wrestling promotion related content and stuff.
40 plus wrestling companies on there. However,
I said 3 million, 40. What's the difference?
However, keep an eye on them right now. A change is coming for them.
The end is here. No, sorry, what?
A change is coming.
Oh, right.
That I've actually got a little. I've heard of, it's almost like almost. I feel like almost, Umbrella Academy like. I heard a rumor.
I bet you do. No spoilers, please. I'm still only on episode 4 of season 1.
That's all I'm saying. But, ladies and gentlemen, do keep an eye on them because some big things are going to be changing soon for them.
Ooh, that's a cliffhanger to end on.
With even more content
Hashtag
Just a wrestling.
even more content.
Exactly. And of course, we also recommend you check out your local wrestling promotions like Future Championship Wrestling, United Wrestling, Pro Wrestling for You, Future Shock Wrestling, Academy Pro Wrestling, Fallen Star Wrestling, Venom Wrestling Federation, Slam Wrestling, Wolfram Pro Wrestling, and many others. In case we've missed any of them, we apologise. But there is an app that will cover all them for you, none other than Babyface Wrestling app, which is absolutely free, where you can search for all your local promotions around you to see which one's closest. And you, of course, could follow, basically follow your favourite wrestlers and promotions, of course. And
like he doesn't want me to do, Matt Burns is on there if you want to follow him.
And
I'm not, unless somebody wants to make a page for me. I can't see why you would, but there you go. Follow Matt Burns.
And of course, UK Ray's on there as well. I know, cheap self-plug, of course. I have to do it. But anyway, of course, there is also the Burning Truth website, which is www.theburningtruthuk.com. Any external links that we have on there, we cannot be held responsible because we don't have any control over it. We have got our social media, which is Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. You can listen to past episodes of The Burning Truth either through the website, Spreaker, Spotify, of course,
Google Play,
iTunes,
Deezer, and iTunes.
Google Podcast, Deezer, and where else you can find your broadcast.
Indeed.
Sources. And of course, that's going to be a wrap up for this week potentially. And however, I'm just going to state, just for the mental health this week, I'm just going to state, be kind, ladies and gentlemen, at this moment in time, because there is certain things going on in the world that is causing a massive, massive backlash of repercussions. People are being affected mentally. If you are being affected mentally, do ask for, understand it is okay to, ask for help. It's not a sign of weakness, and don't ever be afraid. You will find out you have people care for you more than you know. But at the same time, if you are being affected mentally, just also understand that if you do lash out, that could also have an effect on other people's mental health as well. So with that, I'm just going to state, please, if there's anything, if you can be anything at this moment in time, please be kind. Or as you say...
What? Oh, you want me to quote the song lyrics that I can't remember now?
Please do.
Hold on, I'll take my breath because I was sort of bracing myself for something else entirely. In a world that is determined to lose its mind, be more kind, my friends. Be more kind.
And
I think that's
also,
a slight paraphrase, but I did have to do it off the top of my head. Cheers
it is, but even
Frank Turner.
even if it isn't, the words still ring true. And of course, never compare your behind the scenes to other people's greatest hits. Tom Campbell from Cultaholic.
Yep.
I recommend. So that's going to be, and of course, make yourself a priority once in a while. It's not selfish, it's necessary. And with all that, we hope you all stay well, stay safe until the next episode. We hope you check out your local wrestling promotions, and of course, do actually call family members, friends, people you haven't spoken to in a while, because who knows, they could very well need it. And with all that being said, thank you. This has been The Burning Truth for the night of the 8th, 2020. I'm Matt Burns.
I am John Bloor.
And that's it for this week on The Burning Truth. It has been emotional, and we'll catch you next week.
Ta-ta now. Bye-bye then.